The room is quiet now, except for a soft hum in the distance, maybe a fan turning slowly, or the far sound of a passing car. The light is low, gentle shadows resting on the walls. Your body is lying down, but your mind may still be standing. Thoughts move like small insects at dusk, circling, landing, lifting again. Nothing urgent, yet they do not fully leave. You have carried many hours today. Work, decisions, conversations, expectations, some moments heavy, others simply unfinished. Now the day has set, but the weight still lingers. This is very human. You are not alone in this. Long ago, quiet teachers noticed this too. They saw how the mind clings, even when the body is tired. They spoke gently about this habit. They said suffering is not a failure. It is a signal, like a bell in the night, asking for attention, not judgment. In the old verses of the Dhammapada, there is a simple truth. Pain visits everyone, but the heart can learn how to meet it, not by pushing it away, not by fixing it quickly, but by turning toward it with calm understanding. You may feel sadness without a clear reason, or worry that repeats itself softly, or a tightness behind the eyes. All of this belongs here. The Buddha once reminded his students that a mind watched with kindness begins to settle on its own, like muddy water left undisturbed. This is not about becoming joyful tonight, not about forcing peace. It is about allowing space, so joy can slowly find you. In other teachings, it is said that suffering softens when we stop arguing with it, when we let it be known. You do not need to solve your life. You do not need to understand everything. For now, it is enough to rest and listen. Think of suffering like a knot in a rope. Pulling harder only tightens it. Warm hands and patience. Allow it to loosen by itself. Tonight, we will walk gently together, through simple reflections, through quiet stories, through breaths that do not rush. There is nothing you must achieve, nothing you must remember. Just let the words arrive and pass when they are ready. If your mind wanders, that is fine. If sleep comes early, even better. This time is yours, without effort or striving. Let your shoulders soften a little. Let the jaw rest. Let the breath find its own pace. In this space, suffering can change its shape, not into something dramatic, but into something lighter. If you'd like, feel free to share where you're listening from tonight. Story 1. The lamp left on. The lamp in the kitchen glows softly past midnight. Its light spills across a quiet counter. Calm and patient. The house has settled, but something inside you still moves. You meant to turn the lamp off earlier. Work ran late. Messages kept coming. Thoughts followed you home. Now the body rests, yet the mind keeps pacing. Long ago, a monk noticed the same habit in himself, even after chores ended. His thoughts replayed the day. He sat beside a small oil lamp, watching its steady flame. He remembered a gentle teaching from the old verses. The Dhammapada spoke of guarding the mind with kindness, not with force, but with steady awareness. He did not scold his thoughts. He let them arrive, then leave, like moths near light. Slowly, the flame burned cleaner, quieter. You may feel pressure to fix tomorrow tonight. Emails unsent, words regretted, numbers that did not align. The mind believes it must solve everything now. But the lamp teaches something different. It gives light without rushing, without demanding attention. It trusts the oil will last through the night. In another teaching, the Buddha spoke of right effort, not the effort of strain, but of gentle balance, like holding a bird, firm enough, yet never tight. You can loosen your grip this moment. Let the shoulders drop. Let the breath slow. The lamp will still glow if you look away. As you rest, the mind learns a new habit. It learns that safety does not require constant thinking. Peace grows in the space you allow. The monk finally blew out the lamp. Darkness came, but nothing was lost. He lay down, trusting the morning. You can do the same now. Let this day end without argument. The mind bows, and the night receives you kindly. Story 2. The path beside the river. A narrow path follows a slow river at dusk. Water moves without effort, reflecting fading light. The air feels cooler, forgiving. A traveler once walked this path every evening. His days were filled with choices, regrets, and quiet fears. At night, his thoughts crowded him. He tried walking faster to escape them, but the river kept its pace. Unbothered, it neither hurried nor stopped. One evening, he remembered a teaching from the Nikayas. The mind, like water, settles when not disturbed. Stirring only brings more clouds. He slowed his steps. He listened to the river's small sounds. Each step became simple again. You may know this feeling well. Trying to outrun worry only feeds it. Effort turns into exhaustion. The Buddha once spoke of letting go of unskillful thoughts, not by fighting, but by replacing them gently, with something steady and kind. The traveler focused on the path beneath him. The ground held him without question. The river carried its own burdens away. As minutes passed, his chest softened. The tightness eased without instruction. Peace arrived quietly, unnoticed at first. You, too, are walking a path tonight, not with your feet, but with attention. Each breath is a step. There is nowhere else to reach. The river of thought will keep flowing. You need not follow every current. When the traveler reached home, he bowed slightly, not to the river, but to understanding. Some things move best when left alone. Let your thoughts flow now. You remain safely on the shore. Rest comes when you stop chasing the water. Story 3. The cup on the desk. A single cup sits on your desk. It once held something warm. Now it is empty. The room is still. A teacher noticed such a cup long ago. He had been correcting students all day. His mind felt crowded with opinions. He recalled a story from the Zen tradition. An overfilled cup cannot receive more tea. Spilling teaches nothing. You may feel overfilled tonight. Schedules, expectations, self-judgment pressed to the brim. Even rest feels like another task. The teacher gently emptied the cup, not in haste, but with respect. He washed it slowly, mindfully. In the Satipatthana teachings, awareness begins with the body. Simple actions anchor wandering thoughts. Presence grows through ordinary moments. You can empty your cup now. Release the need to review the day. Let each breath rinse the mind. The teacher placed the cup upside down. Nothing more could enter. Nothing needed to leave. Silence felt complete. You are allowed this emptiness. It is not loss, but space. Sleep enters easily where space exists. Thoughts may still tap at the edges. You do not need to answer them. The cup is clean. and resting. As the night deepens, let yourself be simple, a body breathing, a mind easing. Nothing extra is required. The teaching is quiet and kind. Empty what is heavy. Keep what is human. Rest follows naturally. Story 4. The market after closing. The market stalls stand empty under dim lights. Crates are stacked. Voices have faded. Only echoes remain. A merchant once lingered here each night, counting mistakes, missed chances, harsh words spoken. Sleep avoided him. One evening, an elder passed by slowly. He spoke of the Kalama teaching, trust what brings peace, not endless doubt. The merchant listened without reply. He noticed the stalls did not argue with the day. They simply closed. You may still be bargaining with yesterday, replaying moments, adjusting imaginary outcomes. The mind keeps the market open, but nothing more is being sold tonight. The body needs rest, not negotiation. Peace comes when trading ends. The merchant locked his stall at last. He felt lighter walking home. Tomorrow could wait. You can close your stall now. Lay down the mental ledger. The night accepts you as you are. Story 5. The chair by the window. A wooden chair rests near a window. Moonlight touches its worn arms gently. It has supported many tired bodies. An old nun often sat there at night. Her days were filled with service and listening. Fatigue followed her home. She remembered a line from the Metta teaching, may all beings rest in safety, including oneself. You often forget that last part. Kindness flows outward, rarely inward. The body keeps the score. She placed her hands on her knees, breathing slowly. She offered herself permission. Rest is not selfish. You can sit in that chair now, even lying down. The intention matters. Let yourself be included. The chair does not judge weight or worth. It simply holds. So does this moment. Story 6. The clock without numbers. A clock hangs on the wall, but no numbers remain. Only hands moving steadily. Time feels different here. A man once removed the numbers himself. Deadlines had begun to rule his nights. Sleep felt chaste. He recalled a teaching from the Anguttara Nikaya. Life unfolds, moment by moment, not by demand. Watching the hands move, he softened. Minutes lost their sharp edges. Breath returned. You do not need to count this night. Let time pass without measurement. Rest is not late. Story 7. The garden gate. A small gate opens into a quiet garden. Dew gathers on leaves. Unnoticed. No one rushes here. A gardener once worried constantly about results. Growth seemed slow. Effort endless. Sleep stayed shallow. He remembered a Jataka tale of patience. Seeds grow in their own season, pulling harm's roots. You are also growing. Even now, rest nourishes unseen work. Trust the dark soil. Story 8. The bowl of rice. A simple bowl of rice steams softly. Nothing fancy. Nothing missing. Enough is enough. A monk once learned this after years of striving. The Abhidhamma spoke of contentment. Peace follows sufficiency. You have done enough today. Let the hunger to improve rest. This moment is complete. Story 9. The bridge at night. A bridge crosses still water under stars. Footsteps echo, then fade. The crossing is brief. A traveler feared the far side always. Change unsettled him. The Majjhima teachings reminded him, each crossing ends naturally. Standing still is not required. Trust the step. You are crossing into sleep now. Nothing needs to be carried. The other side waits kindly. Story 10. The Quiet Teacher. An old teacher sits silently at dawn. Students come and go. He remains. When asked about suffering, he smiles gently. He speaks of understanding, not escape. From the Four Truths, suffering softens when met fully. Joy appears quietly. Without command, rest is the doorway. You have arrived for tonight. Let the lesson end in silence. Sleep will finish the teaching. Story 11. The Bell After Rain. Rain has just finished falling. The air feels washed and cool. A small bell hangs near a wooden door. Still wet. Still shining. Long ago, a temple bell sounded after rain. Its tone was soft, never demanding. People paused when they heard it, even those deep in worry. A man once hurried past that bell every day. His work was heavy, his mind heavier. Numbers followed him into sleep. Voices replayed without rest. One evening, the rain delayed him. He waited under the eaves. Listening, the bell moved slightly in the breeze, offering a single, gentle note. In the Sutta teachings, it is said the present moment calls quietly. It never shouts for attention. Only listening brings relief. The man felt his breath slow. For the first time that day, nothing asked anything of him. The bell rang once more, then rested. You may feel soaked with the day. Meetings, expectations, unfinished thoughts. Let the rain be over now. Let the bells sound, then fade. The teaching is simple and kind. Listen when life speaks softly. Rest comes when you stop running past it. Story 12. The Shoes by the Door. A pair of worn shoes rests near the door. Dust still clings to their sides. They have carried many miles. A woman once placed her shoes there nightly. Her days were filled with responsibility. Others depended on her strength. At night, her feet ached. So did her thoughts. She remembered words from the Sigalovada teaching. Care flows best from balance. She began removing her shoes slowly. Each movement marked an ending. Work stayed at the threshold. You may still be wearing today's shoes, even lying down. The weight remains. You can take them off now. Let the mind step barefoot into rest. The floor is cool and forgiving. Nothing more is required. The teaching waits quietly. Put down what carried you. Let yourself be carried instead. Story 13. The Candle in the Hallway. A single candle lights a long hallway. Its flame does not reach every corner, yet it is enough. A young monk once worried about perfection. He wanted complete understanding. Sleep escaped him. An elder reminded him of the middle way. From the Dhammacakkappavattana teaching, balance brings peace, not extremes. The monk watched the candle flicker. Darkness remained, yet fear did not. Partial light was sufficient. You do not need total clarity tonight. Some questions can wait. The flame you have is enough. Let sleep arrive imperfectly. Rest does not demand completion. The path continues tomorrow. Story 14. The Well in the Village. A stone well sits at the village center. Water rests deep and cool. The surface is calm. Villagers once argued nearby daily. Voices rose. Tempers followed. The well remained unchanged. A teacher spoke of the mind like water. From the Majjhima Nikaya, depth brings stillness. You may feel stirred on the surface. Emotions ripple. Thoughts echo. Your depth remains untouched. Lower the bucket gently. Drink from what is steady. Let the surface settle on its own. Story 15. The letter never sent. An unopened letter lies in a drawer. Its words were written long ago. Time has softened their edges. A man once carried regret like this. He replayed conversations endlessly. Sleep stayed distant. He recalled the Vitakasantana teaching. Thoughts can be released skillfully. Not all need feeding. He left the letter where it was. Some expressions belong to silence. Peace followed restraint. You may also have unsent words. Let them rest tonight. Silence can be kind. Story 16. The window without curtains. A window stands open to the night. No curtains block the sky. Stars appear without effort. A woman once feared being seen. Perfection guarded her rest. Tension stayed awake. She remembered a teaching on truthfulness. From the Abhaya Sutta, gentleness begins with honesty. She allowed herself to be imperfect. The night accepted her fully. Sleep arrived softly. You are safe without covering everything. The sky does not judge. Rest beneath its openness. Story 17. The path of pebbles. Small pebbles line a garden path. Each step feels deliberate. Nothing is rushed. A worker walked such a path after burnout. His mind raced even when still. Peace felt distant. He remembered the Meghiya teaching. Discipline and calm grow together. Slow steps matter. He focused on each pebble. Thoughts loosened their grip. The body led the mind home. Tonight, take one step inward. You do not need the whole path. This breath is enough. Story 18. The bowl of water. A bowl of water reflects the ceiling light. One ripple changes the image. Stillness restores it. A nun once watched. Her worries ripple endlessly. Concern for others kept her awake. Care turned heavy. She remembered Indra's net. Everything reflects everything else. Care begins with clarity. She let the water rest. Compassion became lighter. Sleep followed naturally. Let your bowl be still tonight. The world will reflect itself tomorrow. Rest keeps the net intact. Story 19. The bench at dusk. A wooden bench faces the setting sun. No one speaks here. Colors fade slowly. A father sat there after long days. Providing weighed on him. Silence felt unfamiliar. He recalled a Jataka story of humility. Worth is not measured by effort alone. Being is enough. He sat without fixing anything. The sky darkened kindly. Peace found him waiting. You may sit here now. Nothing to prove. Let dusk do its work. Story 20. The last cup of tea. Steam rises from the final cup of tea. Its warmth is gentle, not urgent. The day feels complete. An elder once shared this cup nightly. He spoke little at this hour. Words had done enough. He remembered the simple truth. From many teachings combined, clinging ends suffering. He sipped, then set the cup down. Nothing more was needed. Silence finished the lesson. You can set your cup down now. The night will hold it safely. Rest is the final teaching. Story 21. The lantern by the shore. A small lantern rests near the quiet shore. Its light trembles gently in the night air. Waves move in slow, patient rhythms nearby. Long ago, a fisherman placed such a lantern here. His days were shaped by uncertainty and effort. Some days the net was full, others empty. At night, his body lay down tired, but his mind kept counting possibilities. What if tomorrow failed? Again, one evening, he remembered an old teaching from the Sayutta Nikaya, spoken softly. Suffering grows when the future is pulled closer. He watched the lantern instead of the horizon. It did not try to light the whole sea. It simply stayed where it was. You may be lighting far waters tonight, imagining outcomes, rehearsing loss or success. The mind travels where the body cannot go. The fisherman sat and breathed with the waves. Each breath arrived, then left. The lantern flickered, yet remained. He understood something without words. Stability does not require certainty, only presence. The sea kept moving. Tomorrow remained unknown, but the night became kind. Let your lantern rest near you now. You do not need to guide everything. Sleep comes when the shore feels enough. Story 22. The blanket folded twice. A blanket lies folded at the foot of the bed. Its fabric is worn, familiar, warm. It has been used many nights. A woman once folded her blanket carefully each evening. Her days were filled with order and responsibility. Control gave her safety, but stole rest. One night, she forgot to fold it. Exhaustion claimed her first. The blanket waited without complaint. She recalled a teaching from the Majjhima Nikaya. Attachment disguises itself as discipline. Release brings ease. You may also hold small rituals tightly. Believing peace depends on perfection. The body knows otherwise. She lay down without fixing the blanket. Sleep arrived sooner than expected. Nothing fell apart. The blanket warmed her anyway. Care does not require precision. Rest welcomes looseness. You can let things be uneven tonight. The night does not keep score. Peace settles where effort softens. Story 23. The notebook left open. A notebook rests open on the table. Half-written thoughts pause mid-line. The pen lies nearby. Silent. A man once filled notebooks with plans. Improvement became his nightly task. Sleep felt unearned. He remembered a quiet line from the Dhammapada. The present moment holds enough work. The rest can wait. He left the notebook open. Ideas breathed without being chased. The mind followed suit. You may still be writing mentally, fixing, adjusting, perfecting. Tonight, leave the sentence unfinished. The page will wait. Your body needs rest more than answers. Completion comes later. Story 24. The bridge light. A single light glows halfway across a bridge. It reflects on dark water below. The far side remains unseen. A traveler once feared crossing bridges at night. Change unsettled his sleep. Control felt safer. He recalled the Buddha's words on impermanence. From many teachings shared gently, nothing stays fixed, including fear. He walked only to the light, not the whole distance, just enough. You do not need to reach morning now. Only this moment matters. Sleep meets you halfway. Story 25. The teapot cooling. A teapot sits cooling on the stove. Steam rises, then fades. The heat leaves naturally. An elder watched this each evening. His days were full of guiding others. His mind stayed warm too long. He remembered a simple truth. From the Abhidhamma reflections, conditions pass when not fed. He waited without stirring. The tea cooled on its own. So did his thoughts. Let your inner heat cool tonight. You do not need to manage it. Time and stillness work together. Story 26. The mirror without dust. A mirror hangs quietly in a hallway. No fingerprints mark its surface. It reflects without effort. A woman once feared her reflection. Judgment followed her into bed. Sleep avoided criticism. She remembered the Satipatthana teaching. Observation without judgment brings clarity. Seeing is not condemning. She looked gently. No fixing. No comparison. The mirror stayed kind. You can rest without evaluating yourself. Awareness does not require harshness. Peace reflects naturally. Story 27. The empty bench. An empty bench waits beneath a tree. Leaves whisper softly above. No one claims the seat. A man once believed rest must be earned. Burnout followed devotion. Joy stayed distant. He recalled a Jataka tale. Even kings rest beneath trees. Worth is not constant labor. He sat without purpose. The bench held him freely. Sleep learned the lesson later. You are allowed to stop. The bench is here. Sit and let go. Story 28. The door left unlocked. A door remains unlocked for the night. The house feels calm, not exposed. Trust fills the space. A family once feared vulnerability. Control ruled their evenings. Tension ruled sleep. They remembered the Karaniya Metta teaching. Safety grows from goodwill, not constant guarding. They rested with the door unlocked. Nothing was taken. Peace was gained. You can soften your guard tonight. The night is not your enemy. Rest thrives in trust. Story 29. The stone in the pocket. A small stone rests in a pocket, carried all day, unnoticed. Its weight feels familiar. A worker once carried worries like this stone. Money, time, expectation. Sleep bent under the load. He remembered the Kusha Akama Vibhanga teaching. Not all weight belongs to this moment. Choice exists. He placed the stone on the table. Nothing collapsed. His chest lifted. You can set something down now. Not forever. Just tonight. Sleep thanks you quietly. Story 30. The candle burned low. A candle burns low beside the bed. Its flame is small, steady. Enough light remains. An old teacher watched such flames nightly. He spoke little near sleep. Understanding had ripened. He remembered the simple ending of many teachings. Let go, and rest follows. No effort remains. He blew out the candle gently. Darkness arrived without fear. Silence finished the teaching. You may let the flame fade now. Nothing more is required of you. Sleep completes the lesson. Story 31. The path of falling leaves. The evening path is covered with fallen leaves. They rest where they land, without regret. The air smells of earth and cooling air. A tired office worker once walked this path nightly. His days were filled with deadlines and quiet pressure. Even at home, his thoughts kept working overtime. As he walked, leaves crunched softly under his shoes. Each step sounded final, then gone. Nothing tried to return to the branch. He remembered a gentle idea from the Nikayas. All conditioned things are meant to pass. Holding tight brings the ache. You may still be holding today tightly. Moments that cannot be changed. Words you wish you had shaped differently. The worker slowed and watched a leaf fall. It twisted once, then rested. The tree did not chase it. He felt his chest loosen slightly. Maybe letting go did not mean failing. Maybe it meant trusting gravity. As the path darkened, his steps grew lighter. The mind followed the body's example. Release came without effort. Tonight, you are allowed to fall gently. Nothing is required to be held. Rest comes when the branch lets go. Story 32. The window with morning dust. A window holds the last light of evening. Dust floats quietly in its glow. Nothing rushes this scene. A woman once noticed such dust after long days. Her mind stayed sharp, alert, restless. Sleep avoided her bright thoughts. She recalled a teaching from Satipatthana. Awareness begins by simply noticing. No fixing is needed. She watched the dust drift. Thoughts drifted the same way. Neither required control. You may feel full of small particles tonight, concerns floating without order. Let them float. As night deepened, the window darkened. Dust disappeared into shadow. Her mind followed gently. Awareness softened into rest. Observation became calm. Sleep arrived without announcement. You can watch your thoughts dim now. No effort. No judgment. The night knows how to finish the work. Story 33. The teacup with a hairline crack. A ceramic teacup sits on a low table. A thin crack runs along its side. It still holds warmth. An elder once cherished such a cup. Life had left marks on him too. Sleep came easier with acceptance. He remembered a Jataka story of imperfection. What is cracked still serves. What serves still belongs. You may feel cracked in quiet ways, tired beyond explanation. Still, you are here. The elder drank slowly. The cup did not break. Neither did he. He smiled at the warmth. Wholeness felt overrated. Function felt kind. Tonight, you do not need to be flawless. You only need to hold warmth. Rest honors what still works. Story 34. The road with faded lines. A long road stretches into darkness. Its painted lines have faded with time. Cars move more slowly here. A driver once feared losing direction. Without clear lines, anxiety rose. Sleep felt unsafe. He remembered the Kalama teaching. Do not cling blindly. Trust lived experience. He slowed and followed the road's shape. The curves guided him naturally. Control softened into trust. You may not see clear lines tonight. Life feels uncertain, unmarked. You can still move gently. The road holds you without instruction. Sleep does the same. Trust the curve. Story 35. The bowl left unpolished. A wooden bowl rests on a shelf. Its surface is dull, untouched. Use has shaped it. A monk once stopped polishing his tools. Striving had worn him thin. Rest felt distant. He recalled the middle way again. Too much effort disturbs balance. Enough is enough. He let the bowl be dull. Peace felt brighter than shine. Sleep followed simplicity. You may stop polishing yourself tonight. Wear shows life lived. Rest prefers honesty. Story 36. The lamp with uneven light. A lamp casts uneven light across the room. Some corners remain dark. Nothing feels wrong. A teacher once accepted uneven light. Certainty no longer chased him. Sleep felt friendly. He remembered many teachings merging quietly. Clarity grows with patience, not force. You do not need full illumination. Partial light guides enough. Sleep fills the rest. Story 37. The staircase without sound. A staircase descends into shadow. Each step is padded. Quiet. The house listens. A man once feared going down. Letting go felt like loss. Rest felt undeserved. He remembered the Abhaya Sutta. Gentle speech begins inside. Harshness dissolves safety. He spoke kindly to himself. The steps felt softer. Sleep waited below. You can descend gently now. Nothing is taken from you. Only tension stays behind. Story 38. The chair facing the wall. A chair sits facing a plain wall. No view. No distraction. Just presence. A nun once chose this seat nightly. Her mind needed quiet. Silence taught her gently. She remembered the Vitakasantana guidance. Thoughts loosen when attention rests. Stillness invites rest. You may face nothing tonight. Nothing needs your reaction. Peace grows in simplicity. Story 39. The basket with loose weave. A woven basket hangs from a hook. Its weave is loose. Forgiving. Air passes through. A caregiver once admired this basket. Holding too tightly exhausted her. Sleep rarely came. She remembered Indra's net again. Connection does not require tension. Flow sustains balance. She loosened her grip on care. Love remained. Lighter. Rest returned. You can loosen your weave tonight. What matters will stay. Sleep flows through gently. Story 40. The final doorway. A quiet doorway opens into darkness. No sign marks what lies beyond. It feels calm. An elder once paused at such doorways. Endings taught him trust. Sleep became a teacher. He remembered the simple truth beneath all teachings. Nothing needs holding now. Let go. And rest. He stepped through without thought. The body softened. Silence completed the lesson. You are at this doorway now. There is nothing to carry. Sleep welcomes you kindly. Story 41. The clock that lost its sound. The clock on the wall still moves. But it no longer ticks out loud. Time passes without announcing itself. A man once removed the ticking on purpose. Nights had become battles with minutes. Every sound reminded him of delay. He remembered a teaching from the Majjhima Nikaya. Time is known through awareness, not pressure. Peace does not follow urgency. Without the ticking, the room softened. Moments stopped lining up like tasks. The breath slowed naturally. You may still hear ticking inside. Deadlines, ages, comparisons. Let them fade into quiet. The clock still works without sound. Life continues without pushing you. Rest arrives when counting ends. Story 42. The stone step at the gate. A smooth stone step rests before a garden gate. Many feet have shaped its surface. It waits patiently. A woman once paused there every evening. Her days were filled with caring for others. Her own rest felt secondary. She recalled the Sigalavada teaching. Balance sustains all relationships, including the one with yourself. She sat on the stone step briefly. No role to perform, just weight and breath. You may pause here too. Before sleep, before tomorrow. The step holds you kindly. Rest does not neglect duty. It renews it. The gate opens more easily after stillness. Story 43. The shelf half full. A wooden shelf holds a few simple items. Empty space surrounds them. Nothing feels missing. A collector once struggled with excess. Ambition crowded his nights. Sleep stayed shallow. He remembered a line from the Dhammapada. Contentment is the greatest wealth. Less can feel lighter. He removed nothing that night. He simply noticed the space. Breath filled it gently. You do not need more answers now. Space itself can soothe. Sleep enters open shelves easily. Story 44. The fan turning slowly. A ceiling fan turns at its lowest setting. Air moves softly across the room. Nothing rushes. A teacher once watched this fan nightly. Thoughts spun faster than needed. Rest required patience. He remembered the middle way again. Gentle motion calms extremes. Balance cools the mind. He slowed his breath to match the fan. The body followed willingly. Sleep found the rhythm. You can slow to this pace now. Nothing urgent remains. The night moves gently with you. Story 45. The path without signs. A dirt path winds through tall grass. No signs point the way. Footsteps have learned it. A traveler once feared wrong turns. Control ruled his planning. Sleep felt unsafe. He recalled the Kalama Sutta softly. Wisdom grows from direct knowing. Trust, experience. He walked without maps. The path carried him through. The body remembered how. You may not need directions tonight. Sleep knows the way. Let it lead. Story 46. The room after guests leave. Chairs are slightly out of place. The room smells faintly of tea. Voices have gone. A host once replayed every word spoken. Self-judgment followed her to bed. Rest felt delayed. She remembered the Abhaya teaching. Speech ends. Echoes need not continue. Silence heals. She straightened one chair, then stopped. The room was already calm. So was her body. You do not need to review tonight. The gathering has ended. Sleep closes the door gently. Story 47. The notebook closed gently. A notebook lies closed beside the bed. Its pages rest without demand. Ideas sleep inside. A writer once feared losing inspiration. He chased thoughts late into night. Exhaustion followed. He recalled the Vitakasantana guidance. Thoughts return when treated kindly. Force scatters them. He closed the notebook softly. Trust replaced urgency. Sleep held the ideas safely. You can close your inner notebook now. Nothing will be lost. Rest preserves what matters. Story 48. The window with night air. A window is opened slightly. Cool air enters the room. The body responds. A nurse once relied on this air nightly. Stress clung to her shoulders. Sleep came slowly. She remembered mindful breathing teachings. The body knows how to settle. Allow it. Each breath felt cleaner. Thoughts loosened their hold. The night did the rest. Let the air touch you now. Breathing needs no guidance. Rest follows naturally. Story 49. The basket set down. A woven basket sits on the floor. It carried much today. Now it rests empty. A parent once carried worry like this basket. Responsibility felt endless. Sleep bent under concern. He remembered teachings on intention. Doing enough is enough. Release is allowed. He set the basket down. The floor accepted it fully. So did the night. You may set your basket down now. Tomorrow we'll return it if needed. Sleep asks nothing more. Story 50. The light turned off. A small lamp is switched off. Darkness arrives smoothly. Nothing resists. An old Zen teacher favored this moment. Endings taught him peace. Sleep felt like home. He remembered all teachings pointing here. Let go completely. Trust the quiet. He rested without thought. Breath deepened. Silence finished the conversation. You can turn the light off now. There is nothing left to hold. Sleep welcomes you gently. Story 51. The porch light at midnight. The porch light glows softly against the dark. Moths circle it without urgency. The night feels wide and forgiving. A man once stood beneath such a light after work. His shoulders were tight with responsibility. Bills. Deadlines. Unspoken worries followed him home. Inside the house. Everyone slept already. Outside. The air felt cooler. Kinder. He stayed still, breathing slowly. He remembered a quiet teaching from the Dhammapada. The mind finds peace when craving rests. Nothing more was needed now. He noticed the moths did not fight the light. They moved gently, then drifted away. No struggle. No insistence. You may feel drawn to your worries tonight, circling the same thoughts again and again. You do not have to collide with them. The porch light stayed steady without effort. It did not chase the moths. It did not fear the dark. The man felt something soften in his chest. Perhaps he did not need answers tonight. Perhaps rest itself was enough. He turned off the light and went inside. The darkness felt safe, complete. Sleep welcomed him quietly. The teaching lingered without words. Be steady, not demanding. Peace arrives when you stop chasing the light. Story 52. The quiet street after snow. Snow has fallen through the evening. The street lies hushed and pale. Even sound feels softened. A woman once walked this street after long shifts. Her work involved caring for others deeply. At night, her own needs felt distant. Footsteps crunched gently beneath her boots. Each sound faded quickly into silence. Nothing echoed back. She remembered a line from the Sutta Nikaya. When the mind rests, suffering loosens. Stillness teaches without effort. You may be craving this quiet tonight. A pause from inner noise. A break from being needed. The snow accepted every footprint, then slowly covered it again. Nothing was held against her. Her breath slowed with the cold air. Thoughts thinned, like clouds drifting apart. The street held her calmly. By the time she reached home, her mind felt as white as the road. Sleep came easily. Without persuasion, the night whispered its lesson. Let silence do the work. Rest follows when the world grows soft. Story 53. The radio turned low. A small radio plays somewhere nearby. Its volume is turned very low. Music barely touches the room. A man once kept the radio louder at night. Silence made his thoughts shout. Noise felt safer than memory. One evening, he lowered the volume slightly. The song did not disappear. It simply became gentle. He remembered a teaching from the Majjhima Nikaya. Pain grows when resisted. Softening reduces the weight. You may keep your mind loud to feel control. Busy thoughts pretending to protect you. You can lower the volume now. The man lay back and listened. Music blended with his breath. Thoughts lost their sharpness. The radio did not demand attention. It kept playing quietly. So did his mind. Sleep came in between the notes. Nothing had to stop completely. Everything just softened. The teaching arrived like the melody. You do not need silence. You need gentleness. Story 54. The mail left unopened. A stack of mail rests on the table. Envelopes wait without complaint. The night remains patient. A woman once feared opening her mail. Money worries followed her everywhere. Sleep felt fragile. One evening, she left the mail untouched. Not avoiding, simply resting. Her body needed peace first. She remembered a teaching from the Anguttara Nikaya. Timing matters in understanding. Not everything belongs to now. You may also have unopened matters. Concerns waiting their turn. Tonight is not their moment. The envelopes stayed quiet all night. Nothing bad happened. Her breath deepened naturally. In the morning, she opened them calmly. Clarity felt easier after rest. Sleep had helped. The teaching spoke gently. Choose the right moment. Peace prepares the mind for truth. Story 55. The stair landing. Halfway down the stairs, there is a small landing, neither up nor down. A man often paused here at night. His life felt stuck between choices. Sleep mirrored the indecision. He remembered a story from the Jataka tales. Resting places exist for a reason. Movement does not require haste. He sat on the landing briefly. No decision needed. Just breath and gravity. You may be between chapters now, unsure where things are going. This pause belongs to you. After a while, He stood and continued down. The body knew when it was ready. Sleep followed the same wisdom. The teaching stayed behind softly. You do not need to rush. Rest honors the in-between. Story 56. The kitchen after dinner. Dishes are stacked neatly by the sink. The smell of food still lingers. The house exhales. A parent once replayed dinner conversations nightly. Did I say too much? Did I say enough? One night, they remembered the Abhaya Sutta. Right speech includes knowing when to stop. Silence can be kind. They left the kitchen as it was. Not perfect, but complete. The mind followed suit. You may still be cleaning conversations mentally, washing words that already passed. You can stop now. The night does not judge your effort. Enough was done. Sleep clears what remains. Story 57. The hallway light left on. A hallway light glows faintly all night. It does not disturb the room. It reassures quietly. A child once needed this light to sleep. Years later, the habit remained. Comfort matters. An elder remembered the metta teaching. Kindness includes meeting yourself where you are. No shame belongs here. You are allowed small comforts. Even as an adult, safety invites rest. The light stayed on. Sleep came easily. Nothing needed changing. The teaching rested like the glow. Gentle support is wisdom. Peace grows where kindness lives. Story 58. The shoes drying by the door. Wet shoes rest by the door. They slowly dry in silence. No one rushes them. A worker once pushed himself the same way. Never resting. Always moving. Burnout followed. He remembered a teaching from the Satipatthana Sutta. The body needs awareness and care. Rest is part of practice. He let his shoes dry overnight. In the morning, they were ready. So was he. You may need drying time too. Today was heavy. Let the night restore you. Story 59. The park bench under stars. A bench sits beneath an open sky. Stars appear between clouds. The night breathes slowly. A man once sat here after long hours. Ambition had pulled him far. Peace felt distant. He remembered Indra's net. Each point reflects all others. He was never alone. Sitting quietly, he felt connected again. The sky did not demand success, only presence. You are also part of this vast net. Nothing needs proving. Sleep reflects you kindly. Story 60. The last room of the day. Every home has a last room entered at night. Lights are low. Voices are gone. An old Zen teacher cherished this moment. The day finally loosened its grip. Teaching ended here. He remembered all paths lead to rest. Understanding ripens in silence. Let go completely. He lay down without thought. Breath deepened on its own. The body knew the way. You have entered this room now. Nothing follows you inside. Sleep completes the journey gently. Story 61. The river bend at night. The river curves gently beyond the trees. Moonlight touches the surface in broken lines. The water keeps moving without effort. A man once walked here after exhausting days. Work decisions followed him like shadows. Sleep felt shallow and guarded. He stopped at the bend and listened. The river did not argue with stones. It moved around them patiently. He remembered a teaching from the Sayutta Nikaya. Resistance adds weight to experience. Allowance brings ease. You may be pressing against something tonight, a problem that will not shift. The body feels it too. The man breathed with the river's sound. Inhale. The water arrives. Exhale. It passes on. He felt his chest soften. The bend was not a mistake. It was part of the flow. As darkness deepened, his thoughts slowed. Nothing needed fixing now. The river continued without him. The teaching moved quietly within. You do not need to be straight. Rest comes when you allow the bend. Story 62. The lamp by the bedside table. A small lamp sits beside the bed. Its glow is warm and contained. The rest of the room stays dim. A woman once kept brighter lights on. Darkness made her uneasy. Sleep required reassurance. She remembered a line from the Metta teachings. Safety grows from kindness. Gentleness soothes fear. She lowered the light a little. Not all at once. Just enough. You can do this too. There is no need to rush darkness. Let it arrive slowly. The lamp remained faithful. It did not disappear. It simply softened. Her breath followed the glow. Thoughts lost their edges. Sleep arrived quietly. The teaching settled like the light. Peace does not demand extremes. Gentle steps are wise. Story 63. The roadside tree. A lone tree stands by the road. Cars pass without noticing. The tree remains. A traveler once stopped beneath it nightly. Life had become loud and fast. He felt unseen. He remembered a story from the Jataka tales. Trees give shade without asking. Presence is enough. You may feel unnoticed lately. Effort going unseen. Fatigue growing quietly. The traveler leaned against the trunk. The tree held his weight calmly. Nothing needed explaining. He stood there until the stars appeared. The road quieted. So did his thoughts. You are allowed to rest without being seen. Worth does not depend on witnesses. Sleep recognizes you fully. The teaching remained simple. Be present like the tree. Rest follows naturally. Story 64. The bowl set upside down. A bowl rests upside down on the counter. It is clean, empty, complete. Nothing waits inside. A cook once struggled to stop planning. Meals tomorrow crowded his nights. Sleep felt delayed. He remembered a teaching from the Majjhima Nikaya. Completion includes stopping. Rest finishes the task. He turned the bowl upside down. Work ended without ceremony. The mind followed. You may still be filling bowls mentally. Plans, worries, preparations. You can turn them over now. Nothing more needs holding. The bowl is done. So are you. The teaching arrived without sound. Know when to stop. Peace rests in completion. Story 65. The quiet garage. The garage door closes softly. Tools hang where they belong. The air smells of oil and dust. A builder once lingered here nightly. Unfinished projects pulled at him. Sleep felt postponed. He remembered words from the Dhammapada. Work done with care can rest. Clinging extends labor. He turned off the light. The garage stayed whole. Nothing broke. You do not need to finish everything. Ending the day is enough. Sleep respects boundaries. The teaching echoed gently. Leave work where it stands. Rest belongs elsewhere. Story 66. The creek after storm. A small creek runs fuller after rain. Water moves briskly, then settles. Debris drifts away. A woman once watched such water after turmoil. Emotions had surged all day. Night brought exhaustion. She remembered the Satipatthana teaching. Observe change without fear. Everything passes. She watched leaves move downstream. The creek cleared itself. Her mind followed. You may feel stirred tonight. Strong feelings still moving. Let them pass through. The teaching flowed quietly. Do not dam the water. Rest comes after movement. Story 67. The old calendar. An old calendar hangs on the wall. Past months are still visible. Dates no longer matter. A man once kept old calendars up. Regret pulled him backward. Sleep felt heavy. He remembered a teaching from the Anguttara Nikaya. Time is lived forward. Release lives now. He took the calendar down. The wall looked bare. The room felt lighter. You do not need past dates tonight. They have finished their work. Sleep lives in today. The teaching rested gently. Release the finished pages. Peace needs space. Story 68. The train platform at dusk. A train platform grows quiet at dusk. Announcements end. Only wind remains. A commuter once stood here after long days. Schedules ruled his nights. Sleep felt rushed. He remembered a teaching about patience. From many gentle sources, waiting can be restful. He sat on the bench. No train arrived. That was fine. You may be waiting for something. Clarity. Relief. Change. You can wait in rest. The teaching whispered softly. Not all waits are tense. Some are peaceful. Story 69. The drawer closed slowly. A drawer slides closed without sound. Its contents remain inside. Nothing is trapped. A woman once organized at night to feel calm. Control replaced rest. Sleep stayed distant. She remembered the Vitakasantana guidance. Thoughts settle when not rearranged. Stillness calms. She closed the drawer gently. Order remained. Effort stopped. You can close your inner drawers now. Nothing will escape. Rest keeps things safe. The teaching settled quietly. You do not need to manage everything. Peace holds it for you. Story 70. The last breath before sleep. The room grows very still. Even the night seems to pause. Breath becomes deeper. An elder once named this moment sacred, not for meaning, but for rest. Teaching ended here. He remembered all wisdom pointing inward. Trust the body. Let go completely. He followed one breath, then another, then none at all. You are here now. Nothing more needs saying. Sleep carries you gently onward. Story 71. The window pane with rain. Rain taps softly against the window pane. The drops create quiet rhythms. Nothing interrupts the gentle sound. A man once listened to this rain nightly. Deadlines and unfinished work swirled in his mind. Sleep felt always postponed. He remembered a teaching from the Majjhima Nikaya. Impermanence is natural. Rest follows when resistance ends. He watched the water slide down the glass. Each drop moved without planning. No drop feared the next. You may feel burdened tonight. Thoughts drip endlessly, one after another. Let them flow without interference. The man breathed with the rain. Each inhale arrived. Each exhale left calmly. The room smelled of wet earth. His chest softened with each sound. Sleep began its quiet work. The teaching whispered gently, allow what comes. Rest does not demand control. Story 72. The empty swing in the garden. A swing hangs still among flowers. No one moves it. Wind brushes it softly. A woman once watched this swing at dusk. Her family's needs kept her alert. Her own body craved stillness. She remembered a line from the Satipatthana Sutta. Awareness of the present eases the mind. Nothing more is needed. She rested her hand on the rope. The swing swayed slightly. She did not push it. You may also feel still tonight. Your body, your thoughts. You do not need to move everything. The flowers swayed with the air. Breath followed gently. Sleep settled without interruption. The teaching arrived softly. Presence itself is enough. Allow rest to guide you. Story 73. The clock with fading numbers. The numbers on the clock are worn. Time is present, but softened. The hands move quietly. A teacher once noticed this every evening. The passage of days felt heavy. Sleep avoided him with subtle insistence. He remembered a Jataka story. The moment is enough. Do not demand more than it offers. He watched the hands move. No rush. No chasing. They simply marked the passage. You may feel pressed by hours tonight. Deadlines. Regrets. Anticipation. You can watch them lightly. The teacher exhaled. Time did not collapse. Neither did he. Sleep came between moments. Nothing more was required. The night held everything safely. The teaching whispered quietly. Let go of counting. Rest exists beyond numbers. Story 74. The door ajar. A door sits slightly open. Air flows in and out slowly. Nothing insists on passage. A man once left doors open to feel safe. Life's worries crowded him inside. Sleep felt fragile. He remembered a teaching from the Abhaya Sutta. Safety grows from presence, not tension. Gentleness is enough. He leaned gently against the frame. The air touched his face. The body relaxed without effort. You may feel tense tonight. Expectations press gently or sharply. You can open a little space for yourself. The door remained still. Nothing entered uninvited. Nothing was lost. Sleep arrived quietly. Between breaths. Peace does not demand closure. The night teaches safety. Story 75. The candle flickering on the table. A candle flickers in a small room. Its flame dances softly against the wall. Shadows move without urgency. A woman once stayed up late by candlelight. Tasks and worries clung to her mind. Sleep waited outside the room. She remembered a line from the Karaniya Metta Sutta. Kindness brings ease. Peace grows from gentleness. She watched the flame bend. Nothing tried to control it. It existed quietly as it was. You may feel restless tonight. Thoughts moving. Emotions flickering. You can simply watch without interference. Her chest softened. Breath became as slow as the flame. Sleep arrived unannounced. Like shadow blending, the teaching rested like candlelight. Do not force calm. Gentleness is enough. Story 76. The footpath with fallen pine needles. A footpath lies covered with pine needles. Each step is cushioned. The scent of resin rises softly. A man once walked here after long days. Work. Worry. Family needs filled his head. Sleep never felt close. He remembered a story from the Satyutta Nikaya. Each step can be enough. No more is required now. He walked slowly. The needles compressed and rebounded softly. The ground welcomed him. You may carry heavy steps tonight. Responsibilities press at your chest. You can walk lightly in awareness. He felt tension release with each footfall. The forest did not judge him. Sleep followed naturally. The teaching whispered softly. Step without carrying the load. Rest meets the patient walker. Story 77. The cup left in the sink. A cup sits in the sink. Warm water lingers inside. It waits quietly. A woman once cleaned everything immediately. Nothing could stay unfinished. Sleep felt impossible. She remembered a teaching from the Vitakasantana Sutta. Letting go allows ease. Control does not create rest. She left the cup for the morning. The day did not end. Her mind followed gently. You may leave small tasks undone tonight. The world will wait. You do not need to finish everything. The cup cooled slowly. So did her thoughts. Sleep arrived with simple patience. The teaching lingered quietly. Rest honors what cannot be done now. Peace does not demand completion. Story 78. The bench by the lake. A bench sits beside a still lake. Water reflects the soft evening sky. Nothing moves abruptly. A man once sat here after long hours. Work had consumed his energy. Sleep arrived reluctantly. He remembered a teaching from the Jataka tales. Stillness holds wisdom. Reflection softens the mind. He watched the water mirror the trees. Wind rippled gently across the surface. Thoughts quieted naturally. You may feel busy inside tonight. The lake does not hurry you. You can sit quietly with yourself. The bench welcomed him fully. Breath aligned with the water's movement. Sleep found him effortlessly. The teaching rested like the lake. Stillness is enough. Peace mirrors what is present. Story 79. The shadow of the tree. A tree casts a long shadow in the moonlight. It stretches without needing to move. Its shape is patient and calm. A woman once feared shadows at night. They reminded her of things unfinished. Sleep seemed to slip away. She remembered a line from the Satipatthana Sutta. Awareness brings freedom. Fear softens when seen clearly. She watched the shadow lengthen. It did not harm her. It simply existed. You may feel shadowed tonight. Thoughts, memories, doubts. Observe them quietly without grasping. Her chest loosened. Moonlight moved across her hands. Sleep arrived between breaths. The teaching whispered softly. Fear is only movement. Stillness holds it gently. Story 80. The window left slightly open. A window sits slightly open to the night. Cool air drifts in, carrying soft scents. The room breathes slowly. A man once needed this air to sleep. The day's heat had held him tight. The night finally invited release. He remembered the Abhaya Sutta. Trust and calm grow together. No effort is required. He inhaled gently, exhaled slowly. The body relaxed naturally. You may leave your window open tonight. Allow the mind to rest. Breath will carry you softly. Sleep enters without demand. Nothing more is needed of you. The teaching rests like the air quiet. Steady, kind. Now, the day is slowly finishing its work. The air around you grows quiet, soft, and still. Your body feels the gentle weight of rest settling in. Breath flows easily, calmly, without effort. Each inhale brings quiet. Each exhale lets go of what is no longer needed. Thoughts drift past like clouds in a wide sky. They do not require your attention. They do not disturb your peace. Muscles soften. Shoulders release. Your jaw unclenches. The mind follows the body's gentle signals. All tension, all insistence, slowly dissolves. Imagine a gentle stream flowing beside you. It carries away the day's noise and worry. Every ripple, every shimmer brings ease. The night embraces you softly, without judgment, without hurry. Darkness is not empty, it is a cushion, a friend. You are safe here. You are allowed to rest. If a stray thought arrives, notice it lightly, like a leaf floating on the water. Do not chase it. Do not hold it. Simply let it pass. Your heart beats slowly, predictably. Your body knows how to rest. Even when the mind wants to linger, feel warmth in your chest. Feel the quiet in your mind. Feel the deep trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Let the world fade softly to the edges. Your breath, your body, your mind, all are enough. All are complete. All are at peace. And now, gently, softly, allow yourself to drift deeper into rest, into quiet, into sleep. The night carries you without effort. The day is done. You are safe. You are still. If you'd like, feel free to share where you're listening from tonight. But for now, simply rest and let sleep carry you forward, warm, calm, and whole.